Prayer is the bridge that connects the human soul to the divine. It is a language of the heart, untainted by formality or rules, where raw emotions flow freely. In the Christian faith, prayer to Jesus holds a special place, for it is not just communication, but communion with the one who bore humanity's burdens on the cross. It is through prayer that believers pour out their joys, sorrows, doubts, and praises. This essay takes you through a heartfelt story of an individual's transformative prayer experience, a moment of despair turned into hope, disbelief into faith, and silence into profound connection. It is a journey of emotions so intense that even words falter, leaving exclamations like, "Why, Lord?" and "Thank you, Jesus," echoing in the soul, a soul in turmoil. Rebecca sat alone in her dimly lit room, her face buried in her hands. The weight of her struggles felt unbearable. Bills piled up on the kitchen counter, her relationships were frayed, and her health was declining. "Why me, Lord?" she cried, her voice breaking the silence. She had grown up in a Christian household where prayers were as routine as meals. But this was different. This wasn't the polished, structured prayer she recited at church. This was raw, desperate, and messy. Her heart screamed for answers, yet none seemed to come. The room felt cold, as though her doubts and fears had drained the warmth. Her Bible lay untouched on the nightstand, a silent witness to her wavering faith. "Are you even there, Jesus?" she whispered, tears streaming down her face. A whisper of hope. Rebecca's anguish was interrupted by a faint memory from her childhood, a time when her grandmother, a devout believer, had told her, "When you don't know what to say, just call his name." "Jesus," Rebecca murmured hesitantly. The name felt foreign on her lips, yet familiar in her heart. She said it again, louder this time. "Jesus!" As the name echoed in the room, a strange warmth began to envelop her. It wasn't an immediate fix to her problems, but it was as though someone had placed a comforting hand on her shoulder, assuring her that she wasn't alone. "Is this real?" she wondered, her heart pounding. For the first time in months, Rebecca felt a sliver of hope piercing through her despair. A story of redemption. That night, Rebecca decided to open her Bible, flipping aimlessly until her eyes landed on Matthew 11:28. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." The words struck her like a lightning bolt. She clung to them, repeating them aloud as though they were a lifeline. "Rest," she thought. "That's all I want." Rebecca knelt by her bed, her tears now a mixture of pain and relief. "Jesus, I don't know where to start," she began, her voice trembling. "I'm lost, broken, and so tired. But if you're there, if you're listening, please help me." As she poured out her heart, a flood of memories came rushing back. Moments of grace she had overlooked, blessings she had taken for granted. It was as if Jesus was gently reminding her, "I've been here all along." Emotional crescendo. In the days that followed, Rebecca's prayers became more frequent, more intimate. She no longer approached Jesus as a distant deity, but as a friend, a confidant. Her prayers weren't always eloquent. Sometimes they were just cries of frustration or whispered thanks. One evening as she prayed, she felt an overwhelming urge to sing, a song she hadn't sung in years. "Amazing grace, how sweet the sound." Her voice cracked, but she sang with her whole heart. "Why am I crying so much?" She laughed through her tears. It was a strange mix of sorrow and joy, like the breaking of a dam that had held back years of bottled up emotions. A new perspective. Rebecca's circumstances didn't change overnight. The bills were still there. Her relationships required work, and her health needed attention. But something within her had shifted. Her prayers now included gratitude, even for the smallest things. A sunny day, a kind word from a stranger, the strength to face another day. She began to see her struggles not as punishments, but as opportunities to grow closer to Jesus. One morning, as she watched the sunrise, she whispered, "Thank you, Jesus, for never giving up on me." Conclusion. Prayer is not about perfect words or instant solutions. It's about a relationship, a deeply personal connection with Jesus. Rebecca's story is a testament to the transformative power of prayer and the emotions it stirs. Through her journey, she discovered that Jesus doesn't just listen to our prayers, he feels them. He meets us in our darkest moments, not with judgment, but with love. So if you find yourself asking, "Why, Lord?" or shouting, "Are you even there?" know that you are not alone. Call his name, and like Rebecca, you may find that the answer was there all along.